Hi, Lisa Arnold, President's team member. I'm so honored and privileged to be here today to talk to you about building your business through small daily disciplines. One thing I love about Herbalife is you can decide at any moment to start making small daily disciplines that can build your business, reap your harvest, and change your life. For too long, I wished and hoped for my business to grow. A farmer knows you must do something every day if you want a successful crop to grow, water, and weed. We must do daily personal development. We cannot just wish and hope our harvest comes. Our job is to plant seeds every day. We need to get into daily action. Jim Rohn taught me that harvest does not come to those who wish or hope. Harvest only comes to those who did the job. When I made the decision to work on my harvest, my daily disciplines every day, everything changed. I love listening to Jim's words about harvest. Let's take a listen right now.
There's an interesting phrase from an ancient prophet, and it says, "In due season, your harvest will come." First, harvest cannot come unless you're due. Harvest does not come to those who did not plant all those months ago called the spring. Harvest does not come to those that hope. Harvest does not come to those that wish. Harvest does not come to those who have their fingers crossed. Harvest only comes to those for which it is due. Harvest only comes to those that have planted, that did the job, that told the story, that gave the invitations, that conducted the meeting. You've got to make the expenditure up front. But if you make the expenditure up front, before the harvest is there, you must see the harvest in your mind. You must anticipate the harvest because others have already received a harvest. It gives you hope. But we plant in the dark. We plant not knowing for sure. But if you'll take the risk and talk, if you'll take the risk and go, if you'll take the risk and serve, if you'll take the risk and give an opportunity to someone, if you'll take a risk and get on an airplane, if you'll take a risk and go see the people, if you'll take a risk and conduct a meeting, I promise you, as time unfolds, your harvest will come.
Wow. Jim Rohn reminds us that in due season, our harvest will come. We need to ask ourselves every day, are we due for a harvest? Have we done the job? Have we planted? Are we talking to people, taking our products every day, attending events, serving and contributing at the events? We don't put a seed in the ground and know the outcome right away. Like a farmer, we don't always know the outcome. We need to take a risk. We need to continue to do our daily disciplines, planting, watering, weeding, using, wearing, talking, doing our personal development, getting into action. One of the biggest changes in my success happened when I started treating my business like a business. Even when I was part-time, I started doing small daily disciplines. I started doing personal development every day. Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes are two of my favorites. I also started setting goals and tracking my progress. My daily discipline of writing out my goals made a huge difference in my attitude, in my daily action, in my business, and in my life. Let's listen to Jim as he explains his 4 steps to goal setting.
We've all got to have a future to work for. We've all got to have the ability to see something beyond ourselves, something beyond just today, something beyond just this week. The future, setting your goals. And a lot of people have asked me tips on how do you set goals. Let me just give you a simple little formula on setting goals. Vision of the future, being able to see beyond today. Here's a little formula for setting goals. Number one, decide what you want. Get together with your wife and decide, what do we want? Get together with your husband and decide, what do we want? Get together with the family, make some decisions. What do we want? Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? What do we want to have? What do we want to share? Then some of this has got to be personal. What do I want? What kind of skills do I want? What kind of income do I want? What kind of future do I see for myself, not just for my family, but for me as well, because I'm going to have a major part in my family's future. What do I want? Get together and decide. Now here's number two, write it down. Put it on paper. Sometimes you got to take things out of your head, not just operate out of your head. You got to take it out of your head and make a list. Make a list. Do the decision-making process and then just simply make a list, write it down. Now here's number three, keep the old lists. Keep the old lists of goals. One of the greatest signs of personal development is looking back on those old lists of goals. I look back at a list of goals I made 10 years ago, and I'm telling you, some things on there I'm a little embarrassed. Here's 10 years ago, here's what I thought was so important. Now I'm telling you, it's not that important anymore. I've grown, I've changed, I've matured. And I've got some of my goal lists that go back 20 years, 25 years. Some of those I won't even show anybody. Here's what I thought was so valuable. Now I understand so much better as my priorities have changed. Some of the things that used to be on the top of my list right now, I've learned they're not that important anymore. Other things have taken place on the top of the list. So, number one, decide what you want. Number two, write it down. Number three, keep the old lists. And here's number four, check off. When you do get something that's on your goal list, check it off. The first time I came to Spain many years ago, I happened to have my journal with me that had the list of goals in it. One of them was to someday go to Spain. And I had that journal with me, and when the wheels touched the runway in Madrid, I got out that list and I checked it off. Okay.
When I made the decision to go after my harvest, to do the daily disciplines, I started a practice of daily goal setting, just like Jim talked about. I do all 4 steps: decide, write it down, keep the old list, check off goals. I had done goal setting before, every once in a while. Things changed when I made this a daily discipline. Setting goals, focusing on my goals every day. Every day I write my daily gratitude goals in my journal. I have filled countless journals doing this daily practice. I write every goal in the positive present tense, such as, I am so happy and grateful now that I am, or I am so happy and grateful now that I have, and so forth. I challenge you to start treating your business like a business. Start doing your daily disciplines, listening to personal development every day, attending events regularly. Set and write down goals and plant your seeds. And remember, harvest does not come to those who wish, but to those who did the job.